greatness.
What's good, ownership and greatness family? Welcome back to another episode, and I'm your host, Joe Chege. I'm super glad to be here. As you already know, hope you guys had an amazing weekend. We are up for another week, and as you know, we are ready to roll, ready to accomplish these goals and aspirations. On today's segment, I just wanted us to talk about things that I wish someone would have told me when I started the entrepreneurship journey. We all have these aspirations of being entrepreneurs, owning our own businesses, and not only that, just building ownership for us and the future generations. And sometimes when you embark on this journey, it's a lonely journey, I'll be honest with you. And for some of us, when we started, we didn't even know where to start, what direction to take, but we had the urge in us to go out there and venture out and become entrepreneurs, be able to work on our own terms. And so for many people I know, we always wish someone would have told us what to expect or what to do on our journey. But since we never got the opportunity, I just decided to take this opportunity today to just pinpoint some of the things I wish someone would have told me about entrepreneurship. So I decided it would be great for me to just break down some of the things that I wish someone would have shared with me when I started my entrepreneurship journey. We all have our different lists. We all have our different aspirations and goals, and I hope you guys can share what are some of the things that you wish someone would have told you or would have taught you or mentored you about entrepreneurship when you started your journey. To break it down, I only have a few pointers. I don't have much, just a few pointers, and then I believe we can build a conversation around this topic and see how other people can gain from this knowledge, right? So I'm gonna go straight to the point. Like, I don't even want to waste time. The first thing I want to tell you is you have to keep it simple. When you venture out and when you start out on your entrepreneurship journey, don't overcomplicate stuff. You don't need all the bells and whistles for you to become an entrepreneur. Keep it simple. The first thing you have to define or you have to ask yourself is, what problem are you planning to solve? So first goal is, before you even venture out, you have to ask yourself, okay, I want to become an entrepreneur. What am I planning to solve? Because at the end of the day, I believe the only way we build wealth, or the only way we make money, if you're doing it to gain to build generational wealth, is by looking around your community or looking around you and ask yourself, okay, there are a couple of things going around my surrounding. What am I able to bring into the table? What solution am I going to be able to go out there and solve, and at the end of the day get paid for solving the problem? Because I feel like sometimes we have these crazy ideas in our mind, but then those ideas are only for us and not for customers. Remember, you're supposed to be solving a need for the customers, not solving your own needs. I might have a cool design that I want to put on a t-shirt, but maybe the people won't resonate with the idea or the design because it's only meant for me. I'm the only one who understands what the concept is all about. So you have to be intentional. You have to do your research. You have to think of easy things that you can solve. Keep it simple. Ask yourself, what do people need that's not on the market that they can use every single day? Like something that really has a need in our society or in our community that we live in. Once you figure out what the problem is, then you can kickstart your initiative and you can actually start out a project, like start out your entrepreneurship journey. And even when you start, don't go out there and buy everything. You don't need to figure out everything at the beginning. Just come up with a concept, create a prototype, put it out there and test the water. See how people are going to relate to the product. So one thing I wish I would have learned as an entrepreneur, because I've ventured into like different businesses, like different, I would say, products, and through doing that, I've been able to understand that you have to keep it simple. You first have to figure out what the community needs, what the people around you needs, what problem you're solving. And once you have that, Once you have that figured out, that means there's a need for that product. And then you can put that product out there, do that, see how people are going to engage with it, see how people are going to relate to the product. And then if it's successful, rinse and repeat. Just keep on going. Don't overcomplicate it. Just create a simple website which makes it easy for customers to just go straight into it, get the product, and make the sale, and that's it. Don't overcomplicate. Start one product at a time. Start one concept at a time, and then with time you're going to be able to refine it. With time you're going to be able to make it more superior and make it better. So keep it simple. Know what problem you're solving, and then once you figure out what problem you plan to solve in your community or you plan to solve for your customers, then you can go ahead and execute it. All right. The other thing is we have to remind ourselves that nobody cares about our idea or about our entrepreneurship journey, because at the end of it all, when you venture out into entrepreneurship, that's your passion, that's your gift, that's your idea. If you expect people to be so pumped up for you, if you expect people to give you accolades or encourage you to go out there and do it, you'll never do anything. You're never going to be able to venture out into entrepreneurship. You are your biggest fan. You are your biggest motivation. So you need to keep on doing it. Like, you need to inspire yourself even when you don't feel like doing it. You need to push yourself. You need to wake up and work on your vision and your dream, even on days that you don't feel like doing it. You have to show up every single day for your purpose and vision. Personally, I have to show up and work on my goals, work on my designs. I have to show up and make sure I put out an episode every Tuesday, every Friday, and I also have to make sure I show up and post on my social media accounts. Like, I have to do it because at the end of the day, this is my own goal and aspiration. Nobody cares about it. I have to show that I care. And once people see your commitment, once your customers see how you're working hard in refining your product and putting your product out there, trust me, they're gonna support. But when you're starting, don't expect people to care about your dreams, your aspiration, and your product if you don't show the same thing yourself. So you have to put yourself out there. You have to suck it up and stop complaining or stop expecting other people to help you push your goals and aspiration, and do it yourself. Believe in your product, believe in your dream, believe in your aspiration, and all the other stuff are gonna follow. So that's something that I wish someone would have told me as an early entrepreneur, but I've learned along the way, and I embrace it, because at the end of the day, I know nobody else can see my vision or my dream or aspiration. For me, I have to do it on my own to be able to accomplish it. My third point on the topic of I wish someone would have told me when I started my entrepreneurship is you will work more hours than your 9 to 5. And that's a fact. Because when you become an entrepreneur, you are the creator, you are the designer, you are the marketer, you are the accountant, you are the sales team, you are the CEO, you are all these big titles in one person. And sometimes when you're used to like a regular job, the 9 to 5, you don't do all these. Right? You're not expected to do all this. So when you work a 9 to 5, all you need to do is go in there, clock in, work your shift. Once you're done, clock out, and that's it until the next day. But the truth of the matter is, when you become an entrepreneur, you have to sacrifice a lot. You have to sacrifice the weekends where you go out to spend time with your friends and families and focus on building your brand, focus on building your business. That's just a fact. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot of things for you to be able to build a successful brand. People don't even tell you that sometimes you work even 20 hours a day trying to put out a product out there, trying to refine, trying to do the research, trying to ship out orders for customers, because it's your business. So just remember this: if you're going to venture out and become an entrepreneur, forget about the 9 to 5. Especially at the inception, especially at the beginning stage of your entrepreneurship journey, you're going to have to sacrifice your time and energy and effort to be able to build your brand, to be able to put your product out there. And then after time, it's going to pick up, and then you'll be able to have a less busy schedule whenever your business has already been laid out and you have systems in and plans set out. Because most of us, when you start the business, when you start your entrepreneurship journey, you're all by yourself. But once you start delegating some of the projects and some of the things to other people in your team, then I believe you'll have more time to spend time with your loved ones on weekends. But at the beginning, you have to be willing to sacrifice your time and energy to be able to maximize your potential. And that's just a fact. I just want to keep it 100, because I feel like sometimes we think, when I become an entrepreneur, I can sleep as much as I want. I can wake up whenever I feel like I want to wake up and do what needs to be done. No, you have to put in the work. If you've worked for an organization, you already know it's like 30 people deep working in there to make the project successful. Now, remember this. Now you're working for yourself. You're all by yourself. You have to figure out how things are going to be lined up, how things are going to be able to be successful, how you're going to be able to make your sales, how you're going to be able to create a funnel that's going to enable you to make more money. Like, all these things all depend on you. So just remind yourself that you're going to work more hours. That's just the reality. That's just a fact. But don't despair. Don't give up. In the long run, it's going to be worth it. All right. Now I'm going to jump on to my next point about something that I wish I would have learned earlier on my entrepreneurship journey, something that I wish someone would have shared with me. The one thing that I know, and this is the best part about it, is you will make lots of mistakes. I repeat that. You're gonna make a ton of mistakes. But like I always say, we don't think of them as mistakes, but lessons. You're gonna learn a lot of lessons on your entrepreneurship journey. Any failure you encounter on your entrepreneurship journey should be counted as a lesson, because now that you've made that mistake and you've learned from it, you're no longer going. The chances are you're not going to make the same mistakes again. So for me, I take them lessons as the best way for me to grow and learn more about my product, learn more about my customers, learn more about what I'm working on as an entrepreneur. So remember this point every single time. You will make lots of mistakes. You will learn from your mistakes, and that's going to enable you to grow. That's going to enable you to become a better version of yourself on this entrepreneurship journey. That's the most important point I'm going to highlight today. On your entrepreneurship journey, be willing to learn. Be willing to make the mistakes, because don't be scared of your failures. I know of people who've lost a ton of money. I know people who've lost ideas, like people stole their ideas and then they had to pivot and recreate and come up with a new concept for them to thrive again. I know of people who lost money in different ventures which they thought were going to be successful, but they ended up making $0. You're going to spend so much time and effort, and you're going to make mistakes, but make sure for every mistake, take it as a lesson for you to step into the next level. Use it to pivot and figure out, how can you do this better? Like, how can I prevent myself from doing the same thing again? If you think you're going to venture out into entrepreneurship and just be successful and start making $100 within days, that's a lie. It's a process. You might actually not be successful for the first 2 or 3 years of your entrepreneurship journey. That's just the truth. That's just a fact. We have people who are lucky, people who are prepared, who enter the market and are able to execute because they have the motivation and they have the mindset, and then things align for them and they're able to break even, or are able to actually make money in their first few months of the entrepreneurship journey. I won't say like that doesn't happen. It happens sometimes, but the truth of the matter is, majority of the time, you are gonna have to put in the work. You're gonna have to make your mistakes and learn from them, and then figure out what works for you, refine your product, and then at the end of the day, once you get the final product, that's what's gonna put you out there and make you successful. I'm just keeping it 100. Like, you have to be ready to learn from your mistake. You have to be willing and ready to make mistakes for you to grow in your entrepreneurship journey. So that's something I've learned, and I'm just encouraging you to remember that it's possible. So don't stay down when you fail. Don't despair. When you make a mistake, figure out, like, you have to think fast and figure out, okay, where did I go wrong? And then retrace your footsteps and figure out, where did I go wrong? Now, how can I change this situation that I was in and make it better? How can I be able to change this product and at least see how I can leverage my mistake, and how am I going to be able to turn this situation into a great lesson, or turn this L into a win, turn the loss into a win. So it's up to you. It's up to your mindset. Like, you have to use your mind, you have to use your motivation and inspiration and the skill set that you have to come out of that position. All right. The other thing that I know most of us, and I think I just touched on it, most of us ignore, is you have to take it slow and steady. I keep on saying this. This journey is not for the swift. You have to take this journey slow and steady and learn from it. It's all about a journey. If you want to have, like, ultimate success in entrepreneurship, take it one day at a time. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush to just go in and cash out. No. Look at all the big successful brands that you know. Family-owned businesses that have been there for years and centuries, the Coca-Colas, like all these big brands that we know that have been there since time immemorial. The only reason that they've been successful is because they knew these secrets. It's a steady and slow journey. It's not a race. Once you figure out your niche in the market, once you figure out how to refine your product and remain relevant every single year, move at your own pace. That's just my ultimate secret to this journey of an entrepreneurship. You should always have, like, a long-term plan. How are you going to be able to remain relevant and successful for many years? Break your goals from short-term, mid-term, and then long-term. And then figure out how you're going to take this journey. And once you view your entrepreneurship as a journey, then you're going to be successful, because what's going to happen is you're going to take it one day at a time. You're going to work on tomorrow, and then, you're going to work on today, and then when tomorrow comes, you're going to work on tomorrow, and then when next week comes, you're going to work on the goals that you have for next week. And then slowly and steady, you're going to be able to accomplish so much, and your business is going to remain relevant for so long. So when you venture out there, don't think about shortcuts. Just think about how you can lay down a solid foundation for your entrepreneurship journey, for your business, for your product, for your services. And then once you have that laid down, just keep on going, keep on moving. Don't despair, don't give up. Do what's necessary, and in due season, you're going to be successful. Right? So remember that. That's super important. That's one of the main goals that I have to encourage people, and I wish somebody would have told me when I started my entrepreneurship journey, but I've learned along the way, and that's why I'm sharing this, so that you don't have to make the same mistakes lots of us do out here. Because when you come in here and you're rushing and you're racing and you just want to accomplish everything right now, you're going to burn out. You're going to burn out and crash. All right? So just focus on breaking down your journey, your business brand, your business, and break it down into a journey, and you'll be able to accomplish. Just aim on one project at a time. Build one product, make sure it's successful, rinse and repeat, and then move on to the other one. Once one product is already actively bringing you a source of revenue, then you can add another product, and that's how you create different streams of income. Focus on one idea, focus on one goal, and then once it's successful and it's running on its own, then you can jump onto the other. But when you have like 10 or 20 things working simultaneously at the same time, and you haven't even figured out how to work them all out, you're going to burn and you're going to crash. That's just a fact, right? Now, the cream of the top. This is the best thing that I wish someone would have told me, that if I kept my mind to it, if I did all the other things I learned along the way, this would actually help me in my entrepreneurship journey. The last point I want to talk about is you will be successful at the end. Big fact. I just want to, this is something that I know. If you follow all the things that I've said, if you keep it simple, if you focus on working on your vision and your dream and not caring about what other people think, if you know that you're going to have to put in more hours and work hard towards your goal and aspiration, if you know that you're going to and believe that you're going to have to make all the mistakes and learn from your mistakes to become great, trust me, when you execute, when you follow through with all your ideas and goals, when you believe in your passion and dream, at the end of it all, you are going to be successful. You are going to make it, and you are going to be successful in your entrepreneurship journey. So my last point for today is you are going to make it and you're going to be successful because you had an idea and you believed in it. And not only that, you went out there in your community, you went out there and figured out what problem people needed to be solved, and you came up with a product that you're able to put out into the market to solve that problem. And you never gave up on your dream, you never gave up on your aspiration, you kept on going even when people didn't believe in your aspirations and dreams. And trust me, guess what happened? You made it. You made it. So if there's one thing that you can take away from this episode, is you will be successful at the end of it all only if you follow all the goals and aspirations that I laid out on this episode. As long as you're working on your dreams and your aspirations and you don't expect other people to be your cheerleader, you have to be your biggest fan. You have to believe in your product and be able to study the market to know if it's going to work for your customers. At the end of the day, like they say, the customer is always right. The customer is the one that needs the product. So figure out what really works for the customer. Figure out what product is needed in the market and how you can be able to bring that product and solve the problem that people have, and work on it. Be consistent. Don't give up. Make sure you're out there on social media putting out your product. Excuse me. Make sure you're working towards your goal relentlessly, not giving up, putting the amount of hours that's needed. And guess what? At the end of it all, you'll be successful. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you're going to make. It doesn't matter how many products you're going to launch out there into the market. But as long as you remain consistent and believe that you're meant to be successful, you got this. So remember this today. Believe in your dream, believe in your goal, believe in your aspirations, and at the end of it all, you're going to reap the rewards. That's the last point I wish someone would have told me. Because if you give up early on your goals and aspiration, what's the reward? If anything, you just wasted your time and effort and energy and went back to your default setting, went back to working for somebody else when you would have believed in your goal and pushed it. At the end of the day, you would have been the one who's reaping all the rewards. So be consistent. Be hardworking, have a goal in place, keep it simple, and believe you're going to accomplish all the goals that you've set before you. As long as you follow through, you're going to be successful. So that's just what I feel like I should encourage you and put out there. And I'm grateful that throughout my journey, I've also had mentors, and I wish someone would have told me. That's just a bonus, a point that I want to add on there. Make sure you surround yourself with people who are in your field, people who are actually successful in your field, in your entrepreneurship journey. Learn from them, learn from their story, learn from their wins and losses, and then see how you can be able to add some of the things that what they use to become successful into your own brand or your own product, and probably see what the outcome is going to be. So that's just one extra point that I want to add. I wish someone would have told me when I started my entrepreneurship journey that I need a mentor. I need to surround myself with like-minded people who are venturing out on this journey. And that way you are able to learn from them. So think about that. If you think you have any other points that you would like to add on to this topic, feel free to comment on all social media platforms. Feel free to send us a DM, comment on our IG post, and we'll be able to continue this dialogue. This is something I believe I'm going to be touching on as the year goes on, because we need to encourage each other as creatives, as entrepreneurs, on how we can make our brands thrive, how we can make our life better, and how we can be able to achieve our goals and become successful in this road of life. All right. So, yeah, that's it for me. And now, not that we're done with our list of the things that we wish someone would have told us when we started our entrepreneurship journey. I just want us to jump onto the new segment of Gems from the Interwebs, where we're going to be breaking down a quote, a story, or something that I learned this week that I feel like I need to share with you, and maybe it might encourage you to step on to the next level of your life. Someone mentioned this quote to me, which I felt was relevant, especially with the topic that we are talking about today. And I'm just gonna read it out for you guys, and hope it's gonna encourage you and also impact you in one or another. The quote says, "What is not started will never get finished," by Johann Wolfgang. What is not started will never get finished. So, when you think about that quote, for me, the way I looked at it as an entrepreneur is, when you have an idea, when you have a nice concept, or when you have something that you really are aspiring to accomplish, it's in you. It's a dream. It's a book. It's an idea, but you keep on putting it aside. You keep on procrastinating every now and then, and you don't do anything about it. It's never gonna get finished. If you keep putting your dreams to the side and procrastinating, trust me, you'll never accomplish anything in life. So just think about that quote. It's easy, it's simple, but it's deep, because what is not started will never be finished. The book that you never started, that you keep on putting to the side, will never be finished. Your goal to become an entrepreneur that you keep on pushing because you're scared of stepping out of your comfort zone and venturing out into life will never be finished. That dream house that you're planning to build your family, but you don't want to put in the work to set aside the necessary funds to be able to start, will never be finished. So our gem from the interwebs for the week is, whatever has not been started will never be finished. Just remember that. So if you have something that you've been putting to the side, that you keep on saying you're going to start, that you keep on saying you're going to do, that you keep on saying you're going to accomplish, if you don't start it, it's never going to be finished. Make this life count. Make the year 2022 count. Make sure that when you venture out, when you promise yourself that you're going to become a man of great value, when you're going to become a woman of great value, when you're going to become a young king, a young queen of great value, that you're going to follow through and accomplish what you promise yourself you're going to do. If you're going to go on a diet, just do it. Just start and finish it. Like I said, it's a journey. Start the journey, but be consistent and keep on moving, keep on doing it, no matter what situations and distractions you face in life. Just aim for the prize. Don't be distracted. All right? That's all I wanted to talk about. Once again, I just want to thank you, each and every one of you, for tuning in today to the Ownership and Greatness Show. Let's see you guys next week for another episode. And I hope that you've been able to learn from the things that I wish I would have learned as a beginner entrepreneur, and you'll be able to learn from them and not make the same mistakes that some of us made as when we started our journey as entrepreneurs. Have a blessed week. Peace and love. Hope to see you guys next week. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms, or at Ownership and Greatness on all social media platforms. And also, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you can be notified every time we drop a new episode. And not only that, if you can leave us a review, we would really appreciate that, because that helps the channel reach more people out there, and so that we can be able to continue impacting people by sharing this knowledge and information. All right, my name is Joe Chege. It's been an honor sharing this episode with you. Hope to see you guys next week. Peace and love, and I'm out of here. Thank you.
Ownership and Greatness.